Robert Heinlein's 1959 novel, Starship Troopers, presented a world where a fascist military dictatorship has replaced traditional liberal democracies as the government of the human federation in the galaxy. The novel paints this totalitarian system of government in a fairly positive light. In contrast, the 1997 movie adaptation takes a more satirical tone and makes fun of the human exceptionalism that permeates the film's society. That satirical tone makes Starship Troopers a hilarious action movie that is infinitely rewatchable. This is neither a book review nor a movie review, but I mention all of that to say that Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War 100% follows the movie's formula on how to present this, and not the books. The game actually takes place concurrently with the movie, but it follows different characters. That said, it's presented in an almost fourth wall breaking way. There are full-motion video scenes between levels where now General Rico and Major Samantha Dietz address the players of the game and discuss the missions depicted in the game, describing it as, quote, the most realistic battlefield simulation ever created, that puts the players in the shoes of Dietz on newly declassified missions in movie locations, like Klendathu and Planet P. It makes the game feel like a perfect accompaniment to the movie, which is a big draw for fans of the film. The game is primarily a first-person shooter that feels a bit like a cross between Earth Defense Force and a 90s-style boomer shooter. I say primarily because there are 6 human missions, including the tutorial mission that takes place the day of the Buenos Aires attack immediately before the event, as well as 5 bug missions that play like third-person action. The bug missions are honestly kind of trash, so I'm mainly going to be focusing on the human missions. And to be fair, it's less that the bug missions themselves are actively not fun, and more that they're all just kind of the same. All 5 missions play exactly the same. There are 3 locations that you need to terrorize by destroying human structures, and after all 3 locations are fully terrorized, you have to destroy the command center. All 5 missions follow this exact format. The human missions aren't completely dissimilar from that, but the objectives in them are different enough to avoid the monotonous feeling that I had when I was playing through the bug missions. Like many first-person shooters, you can carry up to 2 weapons at a time, and you have a decent variety from which to choose. You always start out with the basic assault rifle, which is honestly the most balanced weapon in the game and never feels useless. There's also a light machine gun, a sniper rifle, a sort of marksman rifle with burst fire, a flamethrower, and my personal favorite, a shotgun. There honestly isn't a bad weapon. The flamethrower, I will say, has relatively limited use, as it's extraordinarily powerful, but has extremely limited range. But still, if you've got a big group around you, that's the weapon you want. You can also carry up to 2 frag grenades and up to 2 incendiary grenades. These definitely have solid crowd control use, but I found it best to save them to throw into the bug spawn hive things to destroy them instantly. You'll occasionally get to pilot a war machine that's somewhere between a small mech and huge power armor. I'm honestly not sure what the Razorback constitutes. Either way, it's basically the coolest thing in the game because one of its arms is a minigun and the other is a giant chainsaw. It kind of feels like if Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War got the RoboCop treatment. These machines have a limited amount of fuel though, and when the fuel reaches 0, a 10-second self-destruct timer starts. If you manage to run out of fuel in the middle of a swarm of enemies, you can work that to your advantage. Either way though, eject and run when the timer starts. If you're a fan of the movie, the story is actually pretty interesting, even if it's nothing groundbreaking, simply because it gives you another perspective on the event shown in the movie. If you played The Lord of the Rings: The Third Age on GameCube, PS2, or Xbox, it's similar to how that game followed the major events of the movies, but from the perspective of a different party of heroes. The live-action scenes with General Rico, whose role was reprised by Casper Van Dien, and Major Dietz reinforced that connection to the movie, and made it feel as if you really were playing through a piece of hypernationalist government propaganda.
Do you like playing Ultimate Bug War? How would you like to play Ultimate Bug War in real life? When you enlist for federal...
Between the bug missions, you get a much less interesting live-action scene from some scientist who tells you that it's important to understand the vicious military prowess of the bugs in order to defeat the bugs. I guess that makes sense. As Sun Tzu said, if you know your enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. At the end of the day, if you're already a fan of Starship Troopers or campy shooters in general, Ultimate Bug War is a must-play. If you're just an average gamer, this might be a buy it when it's on sale kind of game. It's quite short. It took me maybe 5 or 6 hours to complete all human and all bug missions, but for fans, it will definitely feel like a quality over quantity proposition. There's no multiplayer, which does feel a little like a missed opportunity for some fun co-op, but considering that the game is supposed to be a military recruitment tool in universe, it does kind of make some sense in the context of the game's premise. The game is on Series X, PS5, Switch 2, and PC, so it's widely accessible. Considering how short and relatively content-bare the game is, I would suggest waiting for a sale, but when all's said and done, I definitely do recommend giving Ultimate Bug War a shot. My rating for Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War on Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Switch 2, and PC is a B.